Good day, everyone. My name is Adedoja Allen, and welcome to the SLS series. Today, I really feel at home as I will be speaking to the managing director of CTFM, Mrs. Adedoja Allen. Today, we will speak to her about her journey in building Lagos, one of Lagos number one's FM station, CTFM 105.1. I'm really honored. Why? Because it's a system that has also given me some of the things and the equipped me for what I do today and what we're doing today in SLS series. As we go in to speak to her, I do hope that you will stay tuned and listen. And at the end of the day, do remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Do have a great time, and we look forward to speaking to you once we're done speaking to Mrs. Adedoja Allen, MD, CTFM 105.1.
Okay, thank you so much, Wade, for that interesting question that sort of forms the background of what I am today, or what I've become today. And to answer that, I would say that the ledgers, the spreadsheets, and the finance background have shaped what I have become in media today. When the opportunity to be the head of CTFM came, in the capacity of the chief executive officer, the first thing my mentor, who introduced me to the role, said to me is, Doja, you need to run it like a business. You don't have to have a finance a media background before you take up this opportunity. You're a finance person, you studied mathematics, you had a 2-1 in the university, you're highly numerate, so I think that you would be able to pull this off. And because of where the station was at that time, it was at its lowest ebb, where we're struggling with making money, struggling with identity crisis, just struggling to become, one of those top radio stations in Lagos. It was quite a lot of work for me to do. So I took up the challenge. I found it a challenge that I should take up and use it to build my career, test the waters, and change the narrative that someone without a media background can actually run a media station and bring it into profitability. And that's the story that I have today. So, I came into the collapse, like you said, so I needed to put up the rescue strategy. So a business that was falling, it was failing. The station was actually about to be shut, closed down, as though we've been in business for the last, maybe about a year before I took over. And it was a lot. Until the owners and the shareholders felt there was no need to continue to run the business. Shut it down. Someone just said, you know what, why don't we try our hands on a different type of person who will take over the leadership? Let's go for a finance person, because if a station is struggling, you're not struggling in terms of bringing honor personalities or news reporters, or you're struggling in the area of turning those things into numbers, generating the numbers and using those numbers to pay salaries and buy diesel and run the station, in a nutshell. And for me, as soon as I walked into the door of CTFM, the first question I asked the team then was, why are we not making money? Can I see the books? Can I see the schedule? We're on air, we're running operations. So why is it not generating revenue? I saw quite a lot of loopholes. I saw certain things that they were doing that ordinarily you're supposed to charge for it. So there were a lot of freebies, there were a lot of barter transactions, there were a lot of in-house promos, So the focus was on the wrong things. Clearly, I had to redirect the strategy. I had to redirect the focus that if you're in business, then you're in business to make money. You're not exactly in business to make partnerships with other brands. That will probably be the secondary thing, or even the third thing that your brand should be looking at, your business should be looking at. The first and major thing is a business is set up to make money. And so that's what I started with. Strategy on how to build the station or reposition the station to start making money. Brought in the right teams, different teams to handle different things. I had to change the entire finance department. I had to bring in a strategy team who were going to work closely with my office to then look at how we will reposition the organization or the station for profit and revenue generation. We had to partner with some PR stations or PR organizations that we knew that we needed them to help us reposition the brand and change the narrative and the perception of the brand. So we did quite a number of that. We then went ahead to do a relaunch of the brand. So I haven't done all those in-house at the background. We need to then come out to let them know that there's a new sheriff in town, there's a new leadership at the helm of affairs of City FM, and this is what we're now coming out to do. Again, I had to then build a lot of relationships with our partners, who are the agencies, media buying agencies, or other brands that would love to collaborate with radio stations. Those ones helped. I need to go out. I used to go out a lot to do a lot of meetings and do partnerships, strike partnerships, deals. And again, those deals are not free. So it would be like, if you spend X amount of money on the station, you're going to get X amount of exposure. So again, to answer your question, the finance background really helped me. You can't throw that away. And again, I want to believe that that's why the directors felt that I was the right person to run the business. And that's why they now started to call me the Fixer CEO, because in maybe about a year or even 18 months, you could see that, okay, she knows what she's doing. The direction was already there. Even though we hadn't gone into profit, but the numbers have started to rise as soon as I took over and I, start to run the numbers on a monthly basis. So the finance background helped. The finance exposure helped. The spreadsheet helped. The ledger helped for my focus to be on the bottom line. The challenge at all those things that you listed, trying to turn around a station that is number 24 out of 27 radio stations was a tough one. But I was determined to make it happen against all odds. So, because it has suffered an identity crisis, it started well. It started up, but somehow it dipped. So having to then go out there to reposition it and speak about the brand and tell people, no, we're here, this is what we're going to do different, this is what we're offering you. So it was a case of people, agencies, and listeners believing in the brand, having high hopes in the brand, and for some reason we dashed the hopes when the brand started to struggle and then dropped. So picking that back and getting them to believe in the brand was a tough one. But like I did say, I was determined, and I knew that I had to convince them to believe back in the brand, and I knew I had to put in a lot of work by, doing a lot of reorganization, doing some re-engineering inside the station, re-engineering, reorganizing the belts, bringing in new presenters, new OAPs, changing things around, poaching big names, just to bring back that confidence in the brand. So quite a number of those things. Like I did say again, I had to have the right team. I think when I came in, we didn't have branded cars. I had to get new cars. Boss branded everything to go out, to help us to in terms of brand repositioning and brand positioning. What else did we do? Quite a number of things. Work with a new team, bring in experts in different areas, work with consultants, poach here and there, bring in people that are experienced, change the whole marketing department. Then I made myself, never to forget this, I made myself not just the CEO, but the chief marketing officer. So again, I'm very good with negotiating. Like I always say, I like money, so I know how to make money. I know how to go for the money, go for the jugular, and ensure that whatever it is, I turn it into cash. All right, thanks for that question, Wade. Praise in the City is not a money-making venture or platform or initiative or whatever we can call it. It is our CSR arm where, how did it even come about? I woke up one day and I just felt so grateful to God for helping us build this brand, City FM. You know, when you look back at how God has brought you, you are in awe. So I'm like, what can I offer? And then other radio stations had praise jams that they do in December. So then Late Dan Foster suggested that Mrs. Allen, we need to do this as well. So I said, but I'm not going to charge for whatever we do because I'm just so grateful to God. I think that City FM, God deserves our praise in City FM. God has been so good to us. So then Dan and I then sat down and we coined a tagline for Praise in City and tagged it, "You don't have to pay to praise." Of course, to let the other people that are charging for praises know that it's not the way to go. We would not charge to praise God. And so, PITC Praise in City was set up solely to get people to join us in City FM to thank God fully. No charges, nothing. Just come with your dancing shoes and praise God. How did we sponsor this, or how were we able to pull this up financially? The station didn't, we didn't have to pay for it. We had to go out to source for sponsors. So in those days, a few years ago, about, it's 10 years now, I think for 5 or 6 years, we had ITEO, the oil and gas company, partner with us, and they sponsored it fully. But for some reason, you know, they stopped, and now we have other sponsors here and there that put money together to put PITC up for people. So it's quite capital intensive. It's not it's non-for-profit. It's just for to get to, it's like our own contribution to Lagosians in December, 26th of December, to come to the Police College ground. So it's been the same venue for the last 10 years and join us to praise God. I believe that what that has also done for City FM, the ripple effect is that it's made the station more popular, it's strengthened the brand perception, and it's helped our audiences, increased our audience, our listeners on radio, and you know, it's just giving us that substance that we want to be in Lagos. So we're now a station to be reckoned with because, of course, you can see that we're serious. We know what we're doing. We're running a radio business. We're also running a CSR arm of the group that is also doing very well and thriving. So that's a story about Praise in the City. City Media Academy, my baby. I don't know if to blow my trumpet. Maybe I should, because if I don't, nobody will. It started from two, looking for the right word, maybe visions that I had. The first is, at the time when I was building the brand City FM, you know, we talked about numbers. I was trying to grow the business. And so in my head, I'm saying, what more can I do? Can I start something that would augment, you know, the revenue that City FM is generating so that we have multiple revenue streams for the business? And that's why I started City Media Academy. That's the first thing. The second thing is, let me answer or address a need in the society, which is raising new generation of honor personalities on radio, on TV, or wherever. Those days, it will be the likes of Dan Foster, it will be the likes of big names, big names, radio celebrities that, superstars that you hear. And so a person like me will ponder, what if these people retire one day? Which did happen. And they just wake up and they're tired of radio. Who is going to take over? So City Media Academy addresses that. Quite a number of young people have come there, been trained, and they've been able to identify their talents, their gifts in the media space. They've also been able to pursue their dreams just by coming to the Media Academy. For me, it's quite rewarding. When you see radio stations that people graduate from City Media Academy, the people that are running, or rather OAPs and those stations are graduates of City Media Academy, it's fulfilling for me. So again, to answer your question, to touch on one of those things that you said, is legacy for me. Legacy is not about money. Legacy is what would they say about you? How have you impacted lives? I love to grow, to build people, and I also love to impact lives. I believe that in my 15 years of running City FM, I've been able to make leaders, grow leaders, impact lives, touch lives, and just made people's dreams come true in the media industry. And it's quite rewarding and fulfilling for me. I'm not stopping because I'm about to grow the brand, City FM. So I came in and I'm running just one station. Now I'm growing, I'm expanding. So I'm starting a second radio station and then moving on to start another radio station. So I also need to grow. If I've been running a station for the last 14 years thereabouts, I think it's also time for me to have more than one station, and I'm on my way there. Very soon, in the next couple of weeks, the announcements will be made. I like this ledger before the frequency. I think it actually just captures my story. I started on the ledger. I started with a spreadsheet. I started in finance at the BBC. Then I went to Telecom Express. I became a management accountant. I was actually building a career rather in accounting, chartered. What's that? CIMA, Chartered Institute of Management Accountant. I started to go to. I was looking for the right word to use. I started the professional courses. That's the right word to use. Professional courses in CIMA, which is the second one of ACCA. I did year one foundation one. I can't remember whether year one or year two now, how it's called then. But I just gave up somehow. I didn't want it. I wanted more. I didn't want to be accountant, just sit and. So I guess God saw all that and knew that I needed the background for that to become what He has made me today. So it's truly from the ledger to the frequency. The ledger did help me to become very good at the frequency. So if you want to say, who is Adedoja Allen? I think one word describes me. I am unstoppable. Nothing stops me. Nothing breaks me. Sustainable Stories Africa. The sky is your limit. This is only the beginning. I do appreciate that you have just started, but I see the resilience in you. I see the doggedness that you are ready to fly with this brand, and I know definitely that you will fly with it. So I wish you all the best, from glory to glory.
Wow, it's been such an interesting time. Almost half an hour with Mrs. Adedoja Allen. She shared how she came about her vision, how her journey came to be with City FM. And it's been such an interesting time speaking to her. the first chief executive, the first female chief executive of any radio station in Nigeria, and it's such a wonderful honor to also be speaking to her. Like I said earlier, as I came in, this is home to me. It's taught me a number of things in media management and so much, and it's just been an honor speaking to her, seeing someone with a background in accounting and finance run a radio station, as I've been running the radio station for almost a decade and a half, just proves to you that sustainability goes beyond the numbers. It's about how the human being feels in putting the next generation in line of how best they can prepare themselves. Thank you, Mrs. Adedoja Allen, and it's been a pleasure speaking to you. Do remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel once this video is out, and every day that you watch all the other series that have gone by on the SLS series. Thank you very much. My name is Wade Ahime, and it's been a pleasure speaking to you. Have a great day. Bye.